Hello, so today's video is going to be a little bit different. I have two things to say. Firstly, I turned 18! Woo! I'm an adult. And secondly, I apologise for the really loud noise in the kitchen. I'm doing a lot of washing because this week has just flown by and I haven't had any time to do it. So today is the day to get all of my done. Yeah. So, today's video is a little bit different. It's more of a sit down, talk about a topic. This topic is really a big issue for me, and I really love to rant about it. But in today's video, I want to talk about my experiences in education. Education can be a different experience for a lot of people, and for me, hasn't been the best. So I've been through the education system. I'm still in the education system because I'm in college. Primary school was good, but then when I hit secondary school, a lot of things happened to me. And literally just before I joined secondary school, my parents separated. So moving from my tiny little bubble with my friends into this huge environment and not having my parents together was really huge, and I found that really hard. And on top of that, I was a target in school. They just didn't like me, and that's fine, but they decided to say things to me that were hurtful and do things to me that were hurtful. Kids at school didn't like me. Because I was different and I was myself. There were a certain group of people that were really lovely and I could talk to, but the sad truth is those people that I could talk to weren't in my class, or I didn't do any lessons with them. They were either people I went to primary school with, or they were people who used to pass by me and say hello. But people that were in my form group, I guess I was just unlucky. I wasn't put with any of my school friends, but there we go. That's how it turned out for me. Like I said earlier, like I was myself and I was just a target for lots of other people. I get it. Education is really important and it shapes people and it builds them up and sets them at a standard to have a career and get into university. So I'm not saying education is ridiculous. I'm saying that there are some things in education that need to be changed. Now I struggled with a lot of subjects in school, and all those subjects were mostly subjects where I was stuck at a desk and I had to learn and memorise things, and that is what I hated about school. It was a massive thing of memorising. I had to memorise so much stuff. The subjects that I really struggled with were definitely the core subjects, apart from English, because I know English was a sit down at the desk thing, but I found a way to be creative with it and enjoy it. But science and maths were the death of me. I hated them so much. And because I wasn't that academic, I was put in bottom sets, obviously, and I was with people that didn't necessarily want to be there, and it wasn't fair. I didn't want to be there either, but I wanted to get the grades that I needed to get out of that place and move on. The bad thing about being put in bottom sets is you're put with people that can't be bothered, and I know it's cliche, I did get distracted, and I really do blame it on people I was put with. I wish that there had been, I don't know, some like separation with people who didn't want to be there and who didn't care about their grades, and people who really did struggle with the subject but wanted to get something out of it and actually wanted to do something. So that was me. I was that person. My science class was probably like, I haven't been to school in 2 years now. I left my secondary school 2 years ago. But like, talking about this, it's just bringing it all back. Like, my science class, it was mostly boy dominated, and the boys, If anyone that I went to school with is watching this, I'll feel so embarrassed, but the boys in my class just didn't care, and I felt so sorry for my poor science teacher. I felt so bad for him. He tried so hard with us, but didn't get anywhere. I mean, I didn't even get my science grade. I didn't get the grade I deserved, and that probably was built on not being able to listen to the teacher because there were other things going on in my classroom, just because I struggle with the subject anyway. So there we go. I didn't get my maths. I got a D in maths, so I was literally a grade below of what I deserved. This is what upsets me, is because I worked so hard to get my maths GCSE in year 11, and then the thing was, my college, like, if you're going into college or sixth form, you have to have, in my college, the rule is you have to have 4 GCSEs, grade C to A, including maths and English. I got my English, but I didn't get my maths, so I had to resit my maths GCSE last year, and I didn't get it again. And what I want, the thing that really upsets me is because I worked really hard for my grade in year 11. I got a D, and then when I went into college, there wasn't a substantial amount of teaching. We were having cover teachers. Most of them were just reading from a textbook. And then the actual maths teacher we hardly had him. So it wasn't good. It wasn't good at all. And I didn't get it. And when I put no work into it, when I did absolutely nothing because of the teaching, like, I didn't learn anything that year, I get the same bloody grade. Like, I get the same grade that I got in school when I worked really hard for it. This is turning into a rant, I'm sorry. However, college, I was just happy to be out of my school environment and to be going somewhere where I would be doing something that I really enjoy. Now, if you don't know this about me, I am doing an extended diploma in performing arts through UAL, and I love it. I love my course, I love my teachers, I love my friends. I have a really good social life now. I'm not stuck indoors all the time. I have fun and I really enjoy it. But the thing that still frustrates me is how corrupt the education system is. I've left school and I'm over school. I've moved on. It isn't bound to me anymore. I can get on with my life and forget about it. But I can't. I can't forget what I went through, and I have to talk about this because no one else will. If being an actor or whatever I want to do in the industry doesn't work out for me, I think I want to become a politician and specialise in the education system because it needs to change. Subjects like maths need to be made more vocational and not be stuck behind a desk because every single student works differently. I worked differently, but my teachers picked up on that, had to help me do that. Like, they didn't even know how I learn. Like, I had to tell them this is how I learn, and it was I learned through videos and doing things practically. But I think there needs to be such a huge change in the way teachers are trained as well. And mental health, I'm going to make a separate video on mental health, but mental health is a big factor in education, especially for students. Like, it's ridiculous how mental health and anxiety and depression are such a big mix in your education, and keeping your mental health okay is so important, and I didn't. I'm going to make a separate video on this, but I didn't, and I didn't cope in school, and I had no friends towards the end of school because the people I was hanging around with, I realised, oh my god, I've been with some people that are really nasty and I don't want anything to do with them. So I spent the rest of my schooling alone, which wasn't good for my anxiety and my mental health. And I keep repeating myself, but I just wish that education would change. I'm powerless. But if anyone is watching this and you're in education, or you're like me and you can't stop thinking about it, don't be afraid to be yourself. And that is all I can say to you. Don't be afraid to be yourself, because I was myself, and then when I realised that it would make myself a target, I changed myself a lot and I put this mask over me and I wasn't being myself, I wasn't being my true self. And when I was shut down for it. Don't be afraid to stand up for what you think is right as well, because opinions, like when you're in a school with so many different personalities, opinions can get twisted. They can get twisted up and knotted into something that's much bigger than it actually is. Don't try to fit in. Whatever that is, what is fitting in and what is normal? Like, what is normal? I think that normal is nothing. I don't think that I think that people try to be something they're actually not, and I can say that because I did. I tried to be something that I wasn't. It made me more anxious, it made me more scared. I live around the corner from where I used to go to school, but I dreaded walking to school for 10 minutes. I dreaded that walk. I dreaded it, and I dreaded walking into my form room and seeing all those people. My last piece of advice to you is follow your gut. If you're in school or college, follow your gut, because it's just so important. I can't say it enough. It's so important to be yourself, follow your gut, and do what you think is right. Don't try to be like everyone else. Because in my school, in my opinion, they were all clones of each other. I am thankful that although my schooling years weren't the best, and I hated school so much, it has shaped me to be who I am today. It has shaped me, it has moulded me, and quite frankly, I think it's made me better and more resilient and more able to say, this happened to me, but this is what is going to happen to me, and this is what I'm going to do now. That is what I wanted to say. I hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, have a good day, and I'm filming a ton of videos, so you will see me more often. Like, it's just been so busy. Yeah, okay, bye.